Hi students, today we are going to discuss the following topics. So first we are going to see 4 different types of verbs, which is PA to loot or steal, conduire to drive or to lead, courir to run, and perdre to lose, followed by few expressions of cause. Then we would see few examples with the restriction seulement, meaning only, and then the negative with ne followed by the verb and aucun, meaning none or no. So let's get started with the conjugation of these 4 verbs, which is PA, conduire, courir, and perdre. All right. So this is there in your textbook on page number 6. So first they have given you the present tense conjugation. So here you have the subject pronoun sujet, and followed by the conjugation of the above 4 verbs. So if you look closely at the verbs PA to loot as the similar ER endings. It follows the regular ER endings. So you cut the ER and you add E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT. So it follows the regular ER endings. Similarly, if you take the verb perdre, okay, so you cut the RE and you add SS, nothing, ONS, EZ, ENT. So this is again taking the regular RE endings, okay. But if you take conduire and courir, these are irregular verbs, okay? So you would need to memorize these 2 verbs in the present tense. And next they have given you the future and the passé composé. So let's discuss the future and the passé composé of these verbs in detail. And before that, let's look at a few examples based on the present tense. So here we have my father drives the car slowly. So lentement here, meaning slowly. So this conduire is taken from the verb conduire, to drive in this case. And I am using the conjugation of the third person singular, so I'm saying conduire here. Okay, so this is the present tense of the verb conduire. And similarly, the next example, les écoliers courent vers le parc, meaning the school children run to the park or towards the park. So here we are using the conjugation of the verb courir. So as I said, it follows the regular formation, so you would need to memorize it. All right. And here we are using the third person plural conjugation. So that's why it is spelled as C-O-U-R-E-N-T. So these examples are there in your book as well. Okay, so let's move on to the future tense of these 4 verbs. So generally, if you recall, you would have learned earlier to form the future tense for ER verbs. Directly we can go ahead and add the future endings. So you could see the future endings highlighted here, which is AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. Similarly, if it's a RE verb, we cut the E and then we add the ending, right? So the verb conduire, so I'm cutting the E and then adding AI, ASA, ONS, EZ, ONT. But for the verb courir, it has the irregular stem or the radical, which is COURR. So memorize that. So that forms the base. And then followed by the future endings, which is going to be the same. AI, ASA, ONS, EZ, ONT. Similarly, you have perdre, which is the RE verb. So you cut the E and you add the future endings. Alright. So just remember here only for courir, you should know that the radical or the stem is going to be COURR followed by the future endings. And let's see an example for the future tense from your book. So here it says, Je pense qu'elle viendra ce soir, meaning, I think she will come this evening. So here this comes from the verb venir. Venir means to come, and venir as a irregular stem, which is V-I-E-N-D-R. So V-I-E-N-D-R followed by the ending. So for il or L, the ending is A. So that's how you get viendra. Next, moving on to the passé composé. So I've already made a video on the passé composé. So if you have any questions on or doubts in passé composé, you can go back to that video and then come back here. So here we see that we have first the subject pronoun, and then we have the helping or the auxiliary verb avoir. So in all of these verbs, we take avoir as the auxiliary or the helping verb, and then followed by the past participle. So for generally for ER verbs, we cut the ER and add E acute. So you can see in the first column, we have PA, P-I-L-L-E acute. So we are cutting the ER and adding the E acute. So that's how we form the past participle for PA. Okay. Next, move on to the verb perdre. So that's a RE verb. So for RE verb, we cut the RE and we add U. So that's how you get perdu. Okay. Meaning lost. And for the verbs conduire and courir, again, it has an irregular past participle. So you would need to memorize the past participle, which is conduit, C-O-N-D-U-I-T for conduire, and couru, C-O-U-R-U for courir. So memorize the irregular past participle. Let's see few examples on the passé composé. So here you have les cambrioleurs ont pillé tous les objets. So here it says the burglars have looted all the objects. So when I say burglars, I'm talking about they, which is the third person plural. And therefore, I have used the verb, the auxiliary verb conjugation as ont, on, and followed by the past participle. Let's see, look at one more example. Here it says, il a perdu son porte-monnaie, meaning he has lost his wallet. So here we have the subject pronoun il followed by a, which is the third person singular conjugation of the verb avoir, and followed by the past participle perdu, which comes from the verb perdre. Alright? So now, moving on to the next topic, expression de la cause. So these are few expressions of cause. So we can say parce que, because, puisque, meaning since, because, and comme, meaning as or since. So let's look at few examples. So the first question here says, pourquoi l'étudiant est-il absent? So why is the student absent? So we have few examples using the expressions of cause. So the first one says, il est absent parce qu'il est malade. So meaning he is absent because he is sick. Or the other way of saying it is, puisqu'il est malade, il est absent. Meaning since he is sick, he is absent. And the third sentence says, comme il est malade, il n'est pas allé à l'école aujourd'hui. Meaning, as he is sick, he did not go to school today. And the next question, pourquoi les routes sont-elles glissantes? Meaning, or why are the roads slippery? So, we are answering them using the expressions of cause, saying, puisqu'il pleut sans s'arrête, les routes sont glissantes, meaning since it's raining non-stop, the roads are slippery. Or I can say, comme il pleut sans s'arrête, les routes sont glissantes, meaning As it's raining non-stop, the roads are slippery. And finally, les routes sont glissantes parce qu'il pleut sans arrêt. So here it says the roads are slippery because it's raining non-stop. So next, let's look at an exercise from your textbook, which is exercise number 9 on page number 9. It says, relier les deux phrases par une expression de la cause. So they have given you few sentences and they want you to join the two sentences using an expression of cause. So for the first one, it says, il y a eu un accident, la circulation est bloquée. So there was an accident, the traffic is blocked. So the first one, I'm going to use the expression of cause, puker. Now, puker will contract and become puquil. Okay, remember Q-U-E here will become Q-U apostrophe. So I would put it as puquil y a eu un accident, la circulation est bloquée. So I would say, since there was an accident, the traffic is blocked. Next one says, mes voisins sont inquiets, la fille n'est pas encore rentrée. Meaning, my neighbors are worried, their daughter has not come home yet. So here I'm going to use the expression because. So my neighbors are worried because their daughter hasn't come home yet. So I'm going to join it with the expression parce que mes voisins sont inquiets parce que la fille n'est pas encore rentrée. The third one says, l'élève a obtenu de meilleures notes, elle a bien travaillé, meaning the student got better marks, he worked well. So again, I'm going to use the expression because. The student got better marks because he worked hard. The fourth one says, elle est très riche, meaning she is very rich. Elle voyage souvent, meaning she travels often. So here I'm going to use the expression comme. So comme elle est très riche, elle voyage souvent. So as she is very rich, she travels often. And for the last one, la mère amène son fils chez le médecin, meaning the mother takes her son to the doctor. Son fils est en rhume, meaning her son has a cold. So this est en rhume means to have a cold. Être, when we use the verb être followed by the a word en rhume, meaning to have a cold. Alright. So here again I'm going to join it with the expression parce que. So la mère amène son fils chez le médecin parce que son fils est en rhume. So meaning the mother takes her son to the doctors because her son has a cold. So let's look at the answers quickly. So here you can see the answers which are highlighted, and you can follow the same for the expressions of cause. So moving on to the next topic, la restriction, meaning seulement. We translate it as only. So we have two examples here. Ils sont rentrés seulement la nuit, meaning they returned only in the night. And the next one, nous avons seulement un transformateur pour tout le quartier, meaning we have only one transformer for the whole area, for the whole neighborhood, right? So we are using the word seulement here. Next, we are going to discuss on the negative. So using ne and aucun. Alright, so we have the syntax as ne, ne, or an apostrophe before a vowel, and followed by the verb, followed by aucun or aucune with the e if it's going to be feminine. If the noun which follows is going to be feminine, you would add an additional e. So let's look at a few examples from your textbook. On page number 7 you can find it. So the first one says, il a acheté quelques cadeaux. So meaning he bought a few gifts. So here, if I'm going to make use of the negative with ne and aucun, so you could see that I have an apostrophe here, followed by the auxiliary verb, followed by the past participle, and then I have aucun, and then I have the noun which is cadeau. And remember that I'm putting it in the singular form. So you can see the X is being taken away in the ne and aucun form. Similarly, if I say elle a de l'espoir, meaning she has hope, okay, she has some hope, and I'm going to say no, she has no hope. So again here, we have the subject pronoun followed by an apostrophe, followed by the verb, conjugated verb, which is a, and then we have aucun, espoir. So remember, we are removing the de and l apostrophe. So that's why I've underlined. It will not be underlined in your book. Here I'm underlining it so that you would know that you would need to remove it. Okay, so follow the syntax ne or an apostrophe followed by the conjugated verb, followed by aucun or aucune, followed by the noun directly. Similarly, the third one says il a des difficultés, meaning he has difficulties, he has some difficulties, and you're going to say no, he has no difficulty. So here difficulté is feminine, so that's why you can see we have an additional e to aucun. So aucune, aucune, followed by difficulté, difficulty in the singular form. So you also cut off the s for the noun. And last one, ils ont des enfants, meaning they have some children. You're going to say they have no child. So again, the same. So you use the negative form followed by the verb and followed by aucun and followed by enfant. Alright, and remember, we are removing the s from the noun. So next, let's look at one exercise from exercise number 11 on page number 10 of your textbook. So here it says, vous avez un problème. So you are going to reply by saying, no, I have no problem, or you could also say, no, we have no problem. So when the question is asked with vous, okay, V-O-U-S, you could either reply with je, that is I, or with nous. So we will discuss the answers. So the next one is elle a des amis, meaning she has some friends. So you could see friends here, A-M-I-E, as feminine plural, okay, friends who are girls. So we are going to reply and say she has no friend. And so remember the changes that you have to do here because it's feminine. So A-U-C-U-N, you'll have to add an additional E to it, and also remove the S from the noun. A-M-I-E-S becomes A-M-I-E. Similarly, tu as vu quelques films. So you have seen a few films. So you're going to say, no, I have seen no film. So here you have to reply with je because tu, okay, we are using tu, talking to only one particular person. So you're going to reply with I. No, I have seen no film, you're going to say. Similarly, the next one, il connaît des acteurs français. He knows some French actors. So again, you're going to remove the des and you're going to use the singular form of aucun and remove the s from the noun. You can see the actors with the s, so you'll have to remove the s. And finally, vous lisez des romans français? Do you read French novels? So here again you can reply with I, je, or with nous, whichever is convenient for you. So you would say, no, I read no French novels, or I don't read any French novels. So again, you're going to use aucun in the singular, aucun, followed by roman, remove the s. And now let's look at the answers so that you would have a better understanding. So as you can see here, vous avez un problème. So do you have a problem? So I'm replying and saying, non, je n'ai aucun problème. Or I can say, non, nous n'avons aucun problème. So, no, I have no problem. No, we have no problem. Similarly, the second one, elle a des amis. She has friends. No, she has no friends. So, non, elle n'a aucune amie. So here you can see in red I have highlighted, meaning the changes that you need to do. So you need to add an additional e here, and for the noun you have to remove the s. And similarly, tu as vu quelques films? So you have seen a few films. So you're replying and saying, no, I have seen no film. So here, non, je n'ai vu aucun film. I have seen no film. So here you're again removing the s from the film. Okay, so remember that. So all these changes you have to note. The next one, non, il ne connaît aucun actor français. So the question here is, he knows some French actors. You're going to say no, he knows no French actor. Okay, so here again you're removing the s from the noun actors, and it's a masculine, so you're just using aucun. Okay. And the last one, do you read French novels? You're replying and saying, no, je ne lis aucun roman français. I don't read. I read no French novel. So here you are cutting off the s from the noun roman. Okay. Similarly, you can also reply with nous, as I said, but remember that you have to make the required changes. That's all for today, guys. I'll meet you guys in the next session. See you guys. Bye-bye.